Hi everybody, Raven Sky 23 here, sitting in the car and just kind of waiting on TimberGeek. And so I'm knitting. Thought I might show you that first. Let's see if we can see this. This is the start of a sweater. See how good I can get that. It's really cool yarn, and it's alternating. It's going to be all rainbow colors. It's just going to be a cardigan. And that's all I have started yet. This is my first like 2-color big knitting project. So it's going to be for me. Anyway, so I won't do that now because I can't do 2 things at once. Well, maybe 2, but not knitting 2 colors. Anyway, we were just riding in here to where we are, and it's kind of a long drive, so we were talking and just swapping stories back and forth. And TimberGeek, I told him a story. He thinks I told him a long time ago, but he couldn't remember until I got to the end, of course, and then he remembered. And he says, that would be something good, a story to tell people on YouTube. Might be interesting, and okay, well, I like to hear other people tell stories, so why not? So maybe somebody will. Anyway, so I think that's what I'm going to do right now, is because I haven't been feeling good. That's why I haven't made any vlogs or anything like that, because I did some poems, put some poems up, which have been really fun, but they were things that didn't require me to be on camera because I haven't felt very good. I had a back cold and just didn't sound too good. So anyway, alright, so this happened, oh geez, years ago. Let's see what year. My daughter, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, probably 79. No, it would have been 77. Jeez. I lived in Kansas City, Missouri, and I lived kind of in the Plaza District, the Westport District, if anybody's from there and knows where that is. The Westport District, but right by the Plaza end of it. And there was a zoo there, which could have changed names by now, but at the time was called Swope Park Zoo, and it was very cool. And used to take a bus out there with my daughter, who was little at the time, and just in a stroller. She was only about a year or 2 old, 2 maybe. So she and I went out one afternoon to the zoo, and we were going around looking at all the different animals, and she particularly liked the monkey areas, as kids do, and the gibbons. There was like a Gibbon Island where all these gibbons were out there, and I guess they don't swim, so they wouldn't cross the little moats that would get them out of there, so they'd just sit over there and they're running free, but it was cool. They would stay there. Yeah, I can talk. Anyway, so we're walking around, and we go over to where they keep the big apes, and they had the lowland gorillas, which the silverbacks, the big males that they had there. And the way they had like an inside area where you could see them when they were inside, and then outside would be a whole grassy area and a big drop off down to the bottom where there was like a little water running through there, and then a straight side all the way up higher than they could climb out. Smooth rock side, and that's where up there where there was like a stone wall where people would stand and look over the edge and see them when they're sitting down there. Well, that's what was happening at this time. Is I was pushing the stroller along, and we went over to look at them, and took my daughter out of the stroller and was holding her so she could see, and there was one of the big silverback males was sitting down at the bottom, and just there was like a pipe sticking out with water in it, or water coming out of it, just like drizzling out of it, and he was putting his hand in there like getting a drink. So he's sitting there, and these 2 kids were there, these 2 boys, probably 11, 12 years old, these prepubescent boys, and they were, joking around and yelling and screaming and making a lot of noise, and it caught the gorilla's attention, so he was watching them, and they each had like sodas, my Midwest roots, pop, in like the big gulp things, and they were splashing it on the gorilla, and they'd throw some ice on him and all this kind of thing, and really taunting and everything. And I was just getting ready to yell at him, being a mom, even though I was very young. I was going to yell at him, and the one kid took the cup and threw it down and hit the gorilla right on top of the head, and it fell to the ground. Of course, obviously it didn't hurt him. It was a plastic cup, and this is a really big gorilla. So he's sitting there, and the kids like hesitate a minute to see what he's going to do. And he just gives them, I wish I'd had a video camera, because he gave them a look that if they said looks could kill, that was it. That would be, when you look up in the dictionary, looks could kill, and there's that picture of the gorilla, because he was just staring him down. And without taking his eyes off of him at all, he reached down and grabbed the cup, held it underneath the spigot with the water, just a bare pipe with the water dripping out, and filled that thing up till it was almost up to the top. I mean, he held it on there a long time. And then, still keeping his eyes on him, he lifted it up and he just drank out of the cup, and it freaked them out. I think they needed to change their shorts after that. They both ran off and, were really, really agitated about it. It was pretty funny. And I'd never seen anything like it. It was one of those moments in time where you realize the wisdom and the intelligence in creatures that people don't, they take it for granted, or they've never thought about it and think them as just dumb animals. Anybody that's had any kind of dealings with animals knows that's not the case. Anyway, so that was my story. That happened a long time ago, but it was an interesting thing. I really feel like I could never have yelled at those kids like the lesson they got that day. I hope they both remember it. And who knows what could have happened from that. So that's my story. The other thing I wanted to do, I was going to do a couple of actual shout outs, because there's a couple of people I want to talk about, but I can't remember their numbers right now that go behind their names, so we're not going to make a fool out of ourselves, and that'll be the next video. And I'm also working on editing another poem, which ought to be fun. Anyway, but no, I just wanted to say that Twish, I miss you. If you're watching, thinking about you, girl, and I hope you're back with us soon. Really crappy situation. I wish YouTube would get its act together. And that's it. So we'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching. Bye.